Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the freaking fitness facility here in Pembroke Pines, Florida, as we get into one of our first matches of the 2019 Florida Grid League season here in the Southern Conference. We got a good one for you today. It is a rematch of last year's Southern Conference Finals between the Miami Freaks and the Fort Lauderdale Lions. The Lions went into that race last year as the underdog. They took the conference finals from the Freaks and went on to win the Florida Grid League Championship against the Tampa Bay Brigade. The Freaks are here for revenge. One of the biggest rivalries, if not the biggest rivalry, in this Florida Grid League. Ryan Vendencia and Ashley Milian lined up for the Freaks. Vince Lalonde and Laura Gonzalez lined up for the Lions, looking to take on the first race here this evening in Partner Forward. The teams are set, waiting for the countdown. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Vendencia opening up for the Freaks in the red. Vince Lalonde opening up for the Lions in the black. Both gentlemen open up with 8 power cleans, then they'll pass it off to their female partner to open up with 8 power cleans at the female weight. As you'll notice, one athlete must be in the hash mark to the left or the right of the teammate in order for the reps to count. Then they'll switch it off, and they'll get now into the thrusters. As you see, Robbie Rodriguez now in for the dumbbell thrusters, 8 reps, then he'll switch it back to Laura Gonzalez. Husband to Ashley Milian, Javi Milian, now on the floor for the Freaks in the red. He'll pass off to his wife, just a slight lead from the Fort Lauderdale Lions right now. As Laura Gonzalez knocks out those dumbbell thrusters with ease, Robbie Rodriguez now onto the set. As they move down the floor, the repetitions will decrease by 2. Now in quadrant number 2, 6 power cleans, 6 dumbbell thrusters for both the men and the ladies. Laura Gonzalez knocking out those 6 reps as Ashley Milian starts just about a 4-rep lead. Make that 3 reps. Ashley Milian looking smooth on those repetitions as Robbie Rodriguez now back onto those dumbbell thrusters. You can probably guess, as the reps decrease, you know it, the weights on both the barbell and the dumbbells will increase, making it more challenging as you move down. And a fault with the Freaks. Javier Milian, I didn't see what happened, but he got called back with a fault, and it's going to open up a door for the Lions. As the Lions are now onto quadrant number 3, both the males and the ladies working on power cleans and dumbbell thrusters, as the male for the Lions passes it on to Emiliana Guerra for the power cleans, now working on 4 repetitions right now. Jose Carreto and Winter Rodriguez on the floor for the Freaks. Finishing up the final thrusters of that quadrant number 4 as Marcos Medina and Emiliana Guerra looking smooth, working hand in hand onto that final quadrant. 2 power cleans for both the men and the females, 2 dumbbell thrusters, and they're going to go ahead and take this race. Can they keep their lead, or the Freaks open up with 2 points to start? Guerra with a strong power clean. Here comes Marcos Medina making easy, light work on those dumbbell thrusters. Jose Carreto right behind. Can Guerra finish it up? She's got 1 thruster. She's got 2 thrusters, and the Fort Lauderdale Lions will open up the 2019 season with a W. 2 points to the Lions, and the Freaks will get their 1 point as they finish underneath that time cap. What a way to open up the 2019 season here in match number 1 between the biggest rivalry in the Grid League today. Going into race number 2, Lions 2, Freaks 1. The one race here at the Southern Conference Finals, the Lions lead the Freaks 2-1 going into race number 2, known as Mirror, where the strength specialist will be on display. Both teams seem ready to go, and they are off. So these teams are going to start off, 1 male, 1 female, working together, 28 total hang snatches across 4 quadrants, 7 in each. Once that barbell is lifted, it cannot touch the ground until all 28 reps are complete. You'll notice the teammates working as human racks as they move that barbell across the grid floor. As we go 2 screens, double screens, Lions in black are Samantha and Whitworth working together. as the Freaks in red, the Millions, one of the few couples on the grid floor with both teams today, working on those hang snatches. You see the Javier Millian and the men are done, the ladies are done, and both teams moving at the same time over to quadrant number 3, 14 reps to go. You have Carreto and Kaufman working together for the Freaks. You have Lalonde and Robbie Rodriguez working together for the Lions. Again, it's all about speed and working through these reps swiftly and not missing, because one missed rep, one fall can cost you. And on this grid floor, I say all the time is money. Here it comes, Gomez and Rodriguez. They opened up the mirror for the Freaks, looking to close it out for the Freaks. Hands are up from the referees. Final rep, and the Freaks will cross the finish line. They were taken down in race number 1, but they came back strong in race number 2 in the clash of the strength specialists. After 2 races, we are all tied up here at the Southern Conference Finals. Lions 3, Freaks 3, going to race number 3. After 2 races, we are back to the action, all tied up at 3. Going into the female echoes, you're going to see this race 2 times back-to-back with a little bit of a break in between. Same race, nothing changes. The Freaks are ready. Let's check in on those Lions. Those ladies are getting pumped up. Fernanda Saavedra at the start line with Erica Kaufman. You'll see Paula Leyes, Judy Gonzalez on there as well. Looks like you might have Nicole Arsamonte lined up for the Lions. We're going to go ahead and wait for the judges to be ready. We'll wait for our RMC to count us down. Going into the female echoes race number 3. And they are off. Fernanda Saavedra opening up once again for the Freaks. Nicole Arsamonte for the Lions in quadrant number 1. Knocking out those 30 thrusters at 100 pounds on that barbell. Laura Gonzalez waiting in the ranks to relieve Arsamonte on that barbell as they switch it up. Fernanda Saavedra opening up with a large set. Erica Kaufman waiting in the quadrant to relieve her. Let's see when she'll go ahead and hand it off. Getting a good amount of reps in for the Freaks. So switch it up with Judy Gonzalez, who will go straight to the pull-up bar. Getting set for those 20 weighted pull-ups with that 10-pound medicine ball. Right now, Freaks 5, Lions 4. After that 1-second victory in the first echo, going to echo number 2. It's the same race format, nothing changes. Head coach Storm Kaufman with his fingertips up as he gets Judy Gonzalez ready for her set of 20 weighted pull-ups. You notice that medicine ball. As you will know, these ladies can go all day long on these pull-ups. But when you throw in that medicine ball, it gets a little bit more challenging. As Nicole Arsamonte right there drops the medicine ball from her legs. Judy Gonzalez continuing to go, handing it off back to the muscle-up master, Paula Leyes, the 2019 league MVP. Monique Lalonde onto the pull-up bar for the Lions. Leyes knocking out those muscle-ups. 10 muscle-ups down just like that. As Winter Rodriguez, as we go to quadrant number 4, Rodriguez snatches that barbell. 15 overhead squats at 125, all while the Lions trying to finish up those 10 muscle-ups as Lalonde relieves Arsamonte. Arsamonte will head to the start line as Emiliana Guerra makes her way over to quadrant number 4 for her overhead squats, all while Winter Rodriguez goes unbroken. And the Freaks will take the second echo. These females came in on fire today. And the Freaks will take those 2 points, get them up to 7 as the Lions look to finish up this race and get them that 1 point so they can get to that 5 spot and just have a 2-point deficit as Guerra snatches up that barbell. Lalonde will stay on the floor just in case Guerra needs her. Looking smooth through these overhead squats. Again, it's a total of 15, 125 pounds for these females. Well, quick no rep there, but she's back into it. Lalonde seems ready to relieve her, and they're going to pass it overhead. I'm telling you, folks, you see some unique things, but hey, strategy is everything. Every second counts as the judge's hand is up, and Lalonde will finish up the overhead squat for the Lions. They'll cross the finish line, and they'll get themselves that 1 point. We are back from the Southern Conference Finals between the Miami Freaks and the Fort Lauderdale Lions, where the Freaks lead 7-5 in due part to the females sweeping the female echoes. Now it's the males' turn to take on, and the Lions looking for redemption. And they are off. Vince Salon opening up for the Lions in the black. Adrian Florido opening up for the Freaks in the red. Medina on the floor for the Lions, as well as Garreto on the floor for the Freaks. Now, 2 men allowed on the grid floor at one time. Use the strategy as you see fit. Switch out whenever you see fit. Now, strategy goes far here in this Echo. Not only because they're going to rerun this race back to back, as you notice in the female Echoes, but there is a bonus flag on this single race. So the winner of this race, the Lions do the bonus flag, but the winner will take home 3 points towards the total score, giving them that bonus point. An opportunity for the Lions to tie this up as long as the Freaks finish the race. Now, you're going to notice it's a gymnastic-heavy race in the middle of this. They open up with 30 thrusters at 155 pounds. Now, in the middle of this, they're going to have 20 weighted pull-ups with a 20-pound medicine ball. Now, it's not that the medicine ball is weighing them down too much, it's just the awkwardness of the ball in between the legs, as the Freaks and Lions going rep for rep on here. Now, the key to this is going to be the next element, and that's those 15-ring muscle-ups, where you're going to have the former Florida Grit League MVP, Eric Cardona, on those rings. Now, as you can tell, he is moving at a unseen, unheard of pace right now. He's doing about 2 muscle-ups for every 1 muscle-up from Venezia on the Freaks. And Venezia just learning this new butterfly technique where Eric Cardona has it down pat. As you can see, Cardona is winning this race right now for the Lions, opening up the lead, leading into that final 4th quadrant. They have 15 overhead squats at 205. Now that weight for Robbie Rodriguez is a walk in the park. He's making this look easy right now. Just about 5 reps ahead of Joseph Gomez, who's looking at... He stumbled there with the deck, was trying to find it. And I don't see the Freaks coming back because Robbie Rodriguez looking strong here. Remember, bonus point on the line, a tie on the line going into that second race, and he does it. Robbie Rodriguez closes it out. 15 unbroken overhead squats, giving the Lions the first of the 2 male Echoes, and Florido coming in for some assistance with Gomez in that 4th quadrant, looking to get that 1 point as long as they finish under the time cap, so they can go ahead and tie this up at 8 apiece going into the 2nd male Echoes. Now, we finish this up. Florido crosses the line. The Freaks get their point. Now, the ladies of the Freaks were able to sweep both the female Echoes, as I mentioned earlier. Now, as we get into the second one, can the males of the Lions sweep this and get them into the lead going into that next race? Extremely important race right here. You have Gomez and Rodriguez at the start line. Switching up the strategy here for both teams. Let's see how it pays off. And they are off. Gomez, Rodriguez, starting up with those 30 thrusters, 155 pounds. Now again, if you watched this race earlier, it's the same exact race, same exact element, same exact weight. Now the team's choosing to run it a little bit differently, starting up with 2 different males. Originally you had Lalana and Florido. Now you have Gomez and Rodriguez. Wilworth now on the floor for the Lions, whereas Garreto started up on the floor. He was the second one to the thrusters, looking to do the same thing here in this second Echo. Whitworth looking smooth. They did not use Whitworth in that first race. They did use Gomez. They did use Garreto for the Freaks in that first Echo. So Whitworth a little bit more fresh here, looking to finish up those thrusters to get back to that pull-up bar. And now choosing to go with Venezia and Lalonde for those weighted pull-ups. Looks like Lalonde is going to go ahead and get to those pull-ups first, and just about a few reps behind. Now again, if that ball drops, that medicine ball drops from between the legs, any reps complete will not count. They will be faults, opening up a door for the other team to take a lead in this race. As you saw, this race was won on those muscle-ups, and there he goes, ladies and gentlemen. The Spider Monkey himself, Eric Cardona, making up so much time. Alex Alvarez, the former Fort Lauderdale Lions, now a Miami Freak, looking to use that butterfly technique, but no one can keep up with Eric Cardona. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen. The former professional grit player, former FGL MVP, winning this race for the Lions, looking to take a 1-point lead going into the next race. And Marcos Medina now, he was in that first quadrant in the first race. He's in that 4th quadrant, the last one here, looking to close it out. Rodriguez was able to go unbroken on all 15 reps. Can Medina do do the same as Alvarez still chipping away on those muscle-ups, looking to get the Freaks onto that fourth quadrant. Milian now in that quadrant as Medina crosses the finish line, and the Lions will sweep and get redemption on the male Echoes. Milian looking to finish up strong for the Freaks to get them that 1 point going into the next race. The Lions will lead by 1 point, 10-9, as long as Milian finishes underneath this time cap. Plenty of time here as the referee counts him down, and Milian and Gomez will cross that finish line, giving the Freaks that 1 point going into the next race. But the Lions lead the male Echoes with redemption. Races down going into race number 7, which up to this point is by far my favorite race on the day, and that is the ladder. Winter Rodriguez for the Freaks, Laura Gonzalez for the Lions. Lining up, here we go. And these ladies are off going into this ladder. You're going to see the alternating switching between the men and the female going down their respective barbell paths. Each quadrant, that barbell gets heavier and heavier, worth 1 more point every time you move on, as these ladies are 3 quadrants into quadrant number 4, worth 4 points, and Rodriguez knocks it out just as Gonzalez does the same. So if a player is able to finish the entire grid floor, they will get their team a total of 10 points. Quadrant 1 being worth 1 point, quadrant number 4 being worth 4 points. Whitworth Gomez finishing up quadrant number 3 as they go onto that 300-pound barbell. Joseph Gomez with that easy power clean as Whitworth fails on that rep. Gomez getting 10 points for their team right now. 20 points for the Freaks. We're looking at 16 for the Lions as Christy Florido and Emiliana Guerra now on the floor working on those ground to overhead. You can always snatch it, but pretty sure as these weights get extremely heavy, for myself, they're heavy. Most athletes are going to go ahead and clean and jerk it from the ground. Now the men for the Freaks on the floor. Robbie Rodriguez skipping quadrant number 1. See, there's going to be some strategy into play here. Do you skip a barbell to save some time and get to the barbells worth more points? Or for some of these athletes, that first barbell, for the ladies, 135, for some of these men, 225, is extremely light for them, and they can move extremely fast. Maybe 5 seconds it takes them to go through that barbell grounded overhead. So do you waste that point? Is that point going to be crucial in the end when if it's a 1 point race? Are those points going to be crucial? We'll have to wait and see if it comes down to that. Fernanda Saavedra right now, 2 quads through, working on quadrant number 3, easy as pie right there. Easy as pie. That's a new phrase. I might have to trademark that. Here comes Nicole Arsamonte, working on quadrant number 3 as well. And Fernanda Saavedra, the FGL rookie right now, making easy work on that ladder. Here comes Adrian Florido. You just saw his wife, Christy Florido. A few married couples on the grid floor, especially in this race, with Christy and Adrian Florido, Ashley and Javi Milian for the Freaks. You also have Vince and Monique Lalonde. Vince now on the floor for the Lions, 1 barbell in. For the Freaks, here comes Judy Gonzalez. No, excuse me. The blonde hair got me mixed up. That's Paula Leyes. One of my top picks for that 2019 MVP. She'll go through 2 quadrants and go ahead and run down to the finish line. As here comes Ryan Venezia, a former MVP as well, as Vince Lalonde, newcomer to the FGL, looking to finish all 4 quadrants, 300 pounds on the barbell. And Lalonde with this clean split jerk saves it at the top, and he'll get those 10 points for the Lions. Venezia crosses the finish line. Now on the floor, his wife, Monique Lalonde for the Lions, on the floor for the Freaks. Here's Judy Gonzalez. I got the right blonde hair now. Judy Gonzalez, one of the gymnastics specialists on the team, but she can lift some heavy weight. So she'll get through 2 of those quadrants, and she'll run down Alex Alvarez. Now on the floor for the Freaks, Monique Lalonde trying to do the same thing her husband did and clear the entire grid, and she does that. For the Lions looking strong here late. as we are nearing the end of this 4-minute race. Marcos Medina skips barbell number 1, clears barbell number 2. Here's barbell number 3 at the same time. Alvarez finishes barbell number 2. Marcos Medina, one of the better lifters in this grid league. And he'll get that final barbell as the time comes down. And oh no, Laura Sanchez beating the clock. With that quick lift, I told you, ladies and gentlemen, that first barbell might come into play as Laura Sanchez squeaks in 1 point for the Lions there. Now let's get back to some grid action here in Pembroke Pines, Florida, as the Lions and the Freaks going into Jack and Jill. After 3 straight race wins, the Lions lead 12-10 over the Freaks. Ladies and gentlemen, are ready. Here we go. And these teams are off going into Jack and Jill. You can put 2 and 2 together. 1 male, 1 female allowed on the floor at one time. We're opening up. This is a rope climb body weight Jack and Jill race. 20 12-foot rope climbs, followed by 15 12-foot legless rope climbs, and then 3 12-foot L-sit rope climbs. So as we go down the grid floor, it's only getting more challenging on the elements. Right now, since they are so close to the start line, great strategy by both teams. One person, one athlete doing a few repetitions, then they're switching it out so someone is always fresh. You'll see the difference in the strategy though. Looks like some of the males for the Freaks are using their legs, while some of the males for the Lions are choosing to go legless. Will that come back to haunt them when they actually have to do legless? Will their grip be affected? Eric Cardona, a former MVP, a former professional grid player, one of the fastest gymnastic bodyweight specialists in the grid, probably some of the fastest rope climbs I've seen on this grid floor in the Northern and Southern Conference. Adrian Florido now on the rope for the Freaks, and you have Nicole Arsamonte on the rope for the Lions. So again, 2 strong teams, 2 rivals in this grid league going back and forth here. Freaks trying to get back into this match, 2 points down from the Lions in the black, Freaks in the red. Ryan Vedezia now onto that second element, which is 15 legless rope climbs. So now those feet, those legs cannot make any contact with that rope. The Lions having some trouble as you have one of the Lauras working on those ropes. And she's going to pass it off to Eric Cardona as he finishes that last rep, and he goes right into those legless rope climbs. Again, I told you, one of the fastest rope climbers on this grid, but it looks like you have now Shane Kaufman on the ropes for the Freaks. Going to pass it off to Winter Rodriguez. Mario Santaella now on the ropes. One of the men that chose to go legless on the other one doesn't seem too affected there, as Lalonde now onto the rope for the Lions. Florido on for the Freaks. Hand is up for the Freaks. Judge Vince Lalonde, husband to Monique Lalonde, now on the floor for the Lions again, flying through those rope climbs. Laura Gonzalez now, and just like that, the Freaks onto that final element. You'll see it here, where Paola Leyes uses her feet to touch that top bar, and that's going to get her on these L-sit. Those feet, the heels, must stay above the hips in doing these exercises. If those feet were to go down, or those legs were to clamp against that rope, it is not going to count for a good rep. And three rope climbs in, and the Freaks will go ahead and take Jack and Jill easily, as the Lions are just getting started on their 3 legless rope climbs, and Eric Cardona doing easy work on those legless rope climbs, looking to at least get that 1 point and make their lead 1 over the Freaks. Arsamonte finishing it up for the Lions. Did she get that final up? And it's a fault there at the end. I believe they got plenty of time. Eric Cardona doing all 3 of those L-sit rope climbs. They're going to cross that finish line, and they're going to get their 1 point going into that next race, and they're going to keep their 1 point lead. Time to get into our next race here on the grid floor, as the Lions hold on to a 1 point lead, 13-12 over the Miami Freaks, going into the female triad. You're going to see 3 ladies on the floor at one time, having to complete a respective amount of reps at each, you can say, section on the grid. Here we go, as a little slip up there by Lalonde, but plenty of time in this race to get through this. These ladies are going to open up with 4 shuttle sprints. So you can break the grid floor up into 3 sections, right? You have Judy Gonzalez, Paula Leyes, and it looks like Fernanda Saavedra on the floor for the Freaks. So at each section, the ladies must complete, the team must complete 4 shuttle sprints, full court, that is down to the finish line and back to the start line with that hand touch after the line at the finish line. Once each section has 4 of those shuttle sprints completed, they're going to go onto that barbell for a total of 16 barbell clusters. Clusters, a different word there. You're mixing the clean and the thrusters. So you saw it there. You saw a quick slip up by the Lions. The ladies all have to face in the same direction. You'll see these ladies moving quickly through, not fully extending their hips. Something you see here on the grid. They're prioritizing speed here over that full clean motion. It takes a lot of technique and expertise to get that movement down, as the Lions will switch it up. You have Monique Lalonde now onto the floor for the Lions. You have Anna Schwartz now onto the floor, Lions as well. And Gonzalez, Christy Florido, and Fernanda Saavedra knocking out those 16 clusters at each barbell, where they'll then take on 3 freestanding, not regular, freestanding handstand push-ups. And here's where you see Paula Leyes show her expertise. She's going to do 1 section, then move on to the next section. Fernanda Saavedra isn't even going to touch her head onto a mat. And she's even going to finish up for Judy Gonzalez as they make their way over to 16 burpee over the box. So they must complete a burpee, and they must get fully over that box onto the other side. It's going to be 16 reps for each box. Doesn't matter who's at each box. Doesn't matter how many they do. But 16 burpee over the box must be completed for the entire team to move on to the 4th and final quadrant for the final element in this race, with another barbell that is 12 front squats at 115 pounds. These teams are moving so close together. You've seen a lot of it today so far, where these females are so strong and so fast that the competition is at the highest level when the Lions and the Freaks come together. Laura Gonzalez now in for the Lions. She's going to make her way over to quadrant number 4 as Guerra looks to finish up her burpee over the box. Laura Gonzalez is ready. At the same time, Winter Rodriguez already putting in that work. 12 front squats, 115 pounds. Can these ladies finish it up? Can the Freaks get back into this race and tie it up with a win here? Hand is up for Winter Rodriguez. Saavedra doing work for the Freaks. Looks like you have Anna Schwartz. You have Guerra and Gonzalez working on those front squats. And the Miami Freaks will cross the line again. Winter Rodriguez pushing through those front squats, as well as Florido and Saavedra. Here comes Kaufman giving a hug to her teammate as they secure those 2 points. And the Lions will cross the finish line, secure them that 1 point. All tied up going into the next race.
This is Grid. Miami Freaks versus the Fort Lauderdale Lions male triad match. We are all tied up here and the intensity is building. Freaks 14, Lions 14. The winner of this matchup gets 2 points. Second place gets 1 point. Stand by. Here we go, as we start with 4 shuttle sprints, full court, down and back, then moving on to 16 barbell clusters at 115 pounds, 3 freestanding handstand push-ups, then moving on to 16 burpees over a 30-inch box, and then finishing up in quadrant number 4 with 12 front squats at 205 pounds on that bar. In the male triad, 3 stations, all going at the same time, must switch together. The Freaks won this race in the Everest format in 2017 and 2018 as well. Will the male triad winning streak hold up? Let's see which team gets to the bar first. To start off, our barbell clusters at 115 pounds. The Miami Freaks stepping up. Kaufman, Gomez, Floridia already cycling through for the Fort Lauderdale Lions. We have Santa Ella, Lalonde, Medina already cycling through their barbell clusters at 115 pounds. In the Florida Grid League, substitution is allowed, which is a good strategy to keep fresh players on the grid, as the Fort Lauderdale Lions substitute in Rodriguez and Cardona. But this actually sacrifices some time. As you can see, the Miami Freaks are already ahead of their rep count and getting ready to move into quadrant number 2 to start off their freestanding handstand push-ups. As Alvarez is tagged in, Miami Freaks start their freestanding handstand push-ups ahead of the Lions. But here comes Cardona stepping in, showing amazing ability, taking over repetition count for his teammates, knocking out those handstand push-ups with zero problems, as the Freaks are already on those burpee over a 30-inch box. This is a challenging element, as you saw Rodriguez stumbling here at the start of the repetitions. 16 have to be completed for them to move on to the final grid. Now, substitution is a good strategy to use in this quadrant because this element itself can slow down the speed of completing this, because all 3 stations are going at the same time and they have to switch together as the Lions substitute out one of their players. The Miami Freaks are slowing down as the Lions are speeding up. Santa Ella moving quickly over their boxes. That is 30 inches in the air. They're flying as Cardona finishes off, signaling his player to move on to quadrant number 4, as the Lions already swapping out their players. Here goes Santa Ella on the bar, cycling through those front squats. That's 205 pounds being cycled there. The Lions already moving forward as the Freaks are waiting for their final player to step in. We have the Lions in motion. Rodriguez, Santa Ella, Medina already squatting 205 pounds, moving ahead of the Miami Freaks. Who's going to get ahead into that finish line here, as we have player 1, player 2, and the Fort Lauderdale Lions cross into the finish line ahead of the Miami Freaks. What an amazing matchup here. Lions finished this year 3 minutes, 2 seconds. Big difference from last year. The Lions finished this race in 3 minutes, 29 seconds. Each year, the teams are getting better and better. The female triad winning streak held strong, but the Lions have broken the male triad winning streak. Lions winning this race. Fort Lauderdale Lions 16, Miami Freaks 15, as we go into the sprint relay match.
Final race of the evening. Here we go. We are off, ladies and gentlemen. This is the sprint relay. The final race, it all comes down to this. Lions in black lead the Freaks in red, 16-15. The bonus flag was thrown, so this race is not worth 3 points. It is worth 4 points to the victor, and the victor will take the match. Ryan Vendecia, Robbie Rodriguez opening up with 12 snatches. Rodriguez passes it off to Mario Santaella. Ryan Vendecia looking to finish up those snatches. No, he's going to switch it out for Winter Rodriguez. Winter Rodriguez, 165 pounds, as Mario Santaella finishes off his snatches for the Lions. Up next, they have some legless rope climbs. With that snatch, Winter Rodriguez is the second of 2 females only to snatch that much weight, 165 pounds, in a Florida Grid League race. The other, Taylor Stallings for the Orlando Aces. Adrian Florido finishing up his 4 legless rope climbs right before Laurel Gonzalez finished up for the Lions, as they go into the next element, 12 triple unders. Alex Alvarez starting up early, Emiliana Guerra for the Lions going on there. Before this match, she might have said, triple under's not my strong suit, but she's looking strong here in that second grid as Alex Alvarez finishes up. He's gonna, if you'll notice, at the end of each element, whoever finishes the last rep must go back to the start line, 4-point touch, hands and feet behind the start line. Then they'll rush to the finish line, and only then can the next team member start the next element. They will be done for the race. Right now, Fernanda Saavedra, Ryan Vendecia working together on this shuttle run suicide run, for the Freaks. Monica Lalonde as well as Victoria Ashley working on it for the Lions. Right now, Saavedra coming to that finish line. As she's going to finish up for the Freaks. Going into the next element, we have 6 single dumbbell overhead squats, 40 pounds on that dumbbell. Anna Swartz, Christy Florido on the dumbbell. You guys notice this match is heated. This match is close. This is not the first matchup between these two teams. This rivalry has built over the first 2 seasons of this Florida Grid League. Last year, Southern Conference Final, the Lions knocked off the Freaks. Who should have won? Who were supposed to win? Lions knocked off the Freaks and went on to win the Florida Grid League Championship. Right now, this is all about revenge for the Freaks as Shane Kaufman opens up his set of 9 burpee to rings. He had an early fault in there, but he's looking smooth right now. 2 reps left on this burpee to ring. That is a 9-foot, 9-inch target on that ring. Vince Alon right now, 2 reps left. Shane Kaufman is going to finish up strong with only 2 elements left. We have the 6 freestanding handstand push-ups and 3 cleans left. Here comes Paula Leyes. We've had both MVPs, former MVPs, come from these 2 teams. Ryan Vendetia in 2017, Eric Cardona in 2018. Paula Leyes, strong candidate for that 2019 MVP award as she finishes up that final element. Here comes Joseph Gomez. These Freaks are looking for revenge. They can do it right here. 3 cleans left, 300 pounds. Gomez with the first 2 reps. Gomez with the final rep. Joseph Gomez stands up. All he needs is that 4-point touch. Joseph Gomez, he gets the 4-point touch. And the Freaks are going to take the first match of the year. And revenge was on the menu today for the Freaks, and they wanted all of it. All of it. As Medina crosses the line for the Lions, they will get that 1 point, but they will not take the victory in this match, as the victory belongs to the Miami Freaks to open up this 2019 season.